All right, welcome back to Blue by 90. I'm Justin, joined by Jack and Kaylin as always. It is September 25th, Sunday after the Michigan versus Maryland game, and underwhelming, I think is a good way to put it right away. I think we all expected Michigan to, continue on in dominant fashion a little bit at least. We knew this would be a test, but I don't know. What was your guys like instant quick reactions to how Michigan played yesterday?
Instant quick reaction. They won 4-0,
Win is good.
undefeated in conference play. Blake Corum had an awesome game.
Some people can't say that they're undefeated in conference play.
That's true. Maryland is one of those teams. Michigan State also one of those teams.
Also one of those teams.
Jesus Christ.
That's who I was referring to.
Yeah, they I don't even know what to say about that. That was so bad.
We'll talk a lot about it because I
can't wait. I'm excited for it. But I mean, yeah, it was a close game, but Maryland was undefeated coming in. I mean, they had a pretty good offense. JJ, yeah, underwhelming. Still played well. 220, 2 TDs. Like, I think his completion percentage is pretty solid. I know a lot of people like that's just the nature of our fan base to find the negative and harp on it. But hey, man, they won. Beat an undefeated team in the Big Ten. Where I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm thriving over here. Victory Sunday.
All right.
We were talking a little bit before we started recording, and Ro, I thought you put it very well. You said it was one of those games you were just kind of waiting for Michigan to pull away, and they just never quite did. So it made it a little bit more exciting than it probably should have been at the end.
Right.
There.
It was. I mean, it was. I think compared to the last few weeks, it wasn't as hard to word this. I'm not going to say not as entertaining, but because it was closer, I was more drawn into the game.
Yeah,
not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been like probably annoyed if we beat them. Annoyed in a good way, but if it was like 41-14 or something, I would have been like, all right, Jesus, like, can we get something? But I mean, I also, I don't know. This was, we said it was the first real test, right? And like, I wouldn't say they passed with like flying colors.
Hey, C's get degrees, baby.
Yeah. C's don't win championships. That's the issue.
Don't need that right now.
Let's talk about positives first.
All right. Go for the positives.
I mean, positives, obviously, Jack, you said it, Blake Corum, right? I mean, holy shit, like 250 yards almost, right? Like
Dog.
So, and coverage, I thought coverage was very good.
They had 2 picks, right? Mikey might be the best DB in the country.
He's incredible.
And G-Mon Green, I think he had like 3 pass deflections or something. Like
DJ Turner with a pick.
Turner had a pick.
He
killed a turtle. Also,
he did kill a turtle. That is an incredible clip. That man's knees buckled.
Yeah, he's down for the count. Him and Brutus got taken out yesterday.
I did see Brutus get dominated by a like soccer, one of those balls.
That was incredible.
I will say I have to, like, I don't want to give Brutus credit. I give Brutus credit. He like flipped over backwards and then it stood right up. It was actually pretty impressive.
It was kind of smooth.
He's used to it, yeah.
But the fact that his like hat, his little hat on his head, like spun around and came off a little bit, it was pretty awesome.
That was nice.
Yeah, I mean, thank God for Blake Corum, honestly, and like especially with Donovan Edwards out. I mean, 30 touches, and just it was, especially in the second half, there were drives where we like ran it 9 plays in a row, and Blake Corum just put the team on his back when things weren't like always clicking well. Otherwise, especially in the pass game. It was really, really nice to be able to just feed Blake Corum. And my gut, this happened a lot last year with Haskins and Corum too. It was like, when things don't go wrong, you just give it to that guy and we're good. And so if we can have that in 2022 again, where we can just like, when things aren't going swimmingly, we just run the damn ball, I'm good with that.
Yeah, agreed. And then you got, I mean, JJ is still young. He's still learning. You know, I mean, gives him a little more time to get more comfortable in there. Not that he's not already, but you know, just gives him more experience under his belt.
Yeah.
Again,
By the way,
you're
Jay,
probably gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say. So go ahead.
no, I was gonna say you cleared your throat there, but which is fine. My mom said that you can't burp anymore on the podcast because it grosses her out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sue.
Just a little aside.
I know it's
I mean, what Sue says goes too. So like,
that's true. She is
yeah.
the
If it was
president
coming
of
from
the
me,
company.
like, yeah, it wouldn't matter. But coming from mom,
Oh, if it was coming from you, I'd probably do it more often.
yeah, I agree.
But Sue, okay, deal.
Sorry, Kaylin, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I thought that Blake's performance actually, I think he said it in his post game that it like actually meant a little bit more, right? Because he's like from that Maryland, Baltimore area.
Oh
or
yeah,
something like
DMV
that.
guy.
Yeah, from Virginia.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I mean, that's even better for him, right? Running over his old home stomping ground a little bit. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think that like, so let's talk about JJ a little bit because I think there are a lot of people that are freaking out about JJ but last week I believe we said like he's not going to complete 80% of his passes for the year, right?
No.
Like, you know, we went against the three, you know, worst teams in the country. So things are there was going to be a learning period there, a little bit of an adjustment period to how fast Big Ten players are, right? And even though Maryland's defense isn't a top defense, like there's going to be an adjustment period there. So, you know, I thought there were times where he did make just poor decisions and bad throws for sure. But there were also times where like the throw, like the deep balls, I'm not that worried about the deep balls. He was a couple feet off, right? And like, you know, I just think that those throws will be made and you're not going to go 100% on those throws. So I love that they still took 5-6 deep shots. And they're going to continue to do that. Like, you know, if defenses have to defend that, then that's what opens up that running game for Blake Corum and like an RPO and stuff too.
Man, what I felt bad about against sorry, I'm trying to pull up Andrew Anthony's stats for this year.
Yeah.
I
mean, he didn't have
he had one catch.
One catch yesterday.
None against Hawaii, none against UConn, one against Colorado State. He's only got 2 receptions this year. And there was a couple, I think there were a couple balls where JJ was trying to get it to him. One of them being that deep ball that I think he missed by a couple feet. It's so bad for Andrew Anthony, man.
And
like, the ball.
The like reverse pass that was supposed to be a pass from Ronnie that was supposed to go to Andrew, but he couldn't shed the block.
What a weird play call too.
It was a weird play call, but once he did shed the block, it was way too late. He shed the block and he was wide open.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
But Ronnie just didn't have enough time. That's actually, you know, it's obviously got to like happen right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Schoonmaker though, 7 catches. You know, without Eric Hall in the game, like that's huge for us to have Schoonmaker and our boy Max Bredesen. Like, I love Bredesen getting 2 catches. There were multiple times that Bredesen had huge blocks as well.
I was watching Dude's a little bit of Dude's recap.
Yeah, coming across, and then Joel Honeyford, dude, just
best blocking tight end in the country. Yeah,
dominating. Harbaugh said something about Joel the other day too, that like he was just murdering people. So it's good to see our boys getting recognized for that for sure.
Oh yeah, we love the tight end room.
Oh yeah,
Jay Booty, Jake Butt too loves it. He's just like every time we would bring up tight ends with him, his twinkle came in his eye. Yeah. Love it. I do want to say, like, we have to acknowledge that JJ, like, Kalen, we were talking about it before we jumped on. The things that he can't do are the 10-way scramble that puts you, 30 yards behind the ball, and then you chuck it, like, half fumble it. Like, those are things that you can't do. I don't care if you're young or not. I'm sorry. Like, you're the quarterback now, and that's kind of like unacceptable in my opinion.
This might be a bad take, but that's also like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Is that a good analogy for it? I mean,
yeah.
that's what we wanted. We wanted a guy that could be a playmaker, and then that's the way he plays.
I don't
and
think
he's
that's
just
a
gonna
bad
come with
take.
it.
But I think that you have to, like, if you want to be an elite quarterback, like, you have to be able to make those plays, but know when to stop as well and just like throw the ball away.
Yeah, that scramble, like water into wine ability, it really is kind of an art form, right? And I think JJ, as he gets experience, he'll kind of perfect that art form, right? Like it's okay to scramble like that, but like do it forward, not backward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like huge, like it's very. I mean, I think when he's scrambling and do that, he doesn't necessarily know exactly what's about to happen. He's just trying to make a play. So I think like it's hard to judge that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, should I do this? Should I not? I think that just kind of comes with that happening.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a different way. Like maybe if you don't want him scrambling like that at all, like I don't know. Do you want him to just take a sack? Like I don't know. I don't know. If he can get rid of the ball, then that's always like the best option. But in that scenario, it's just tough. I just think he's such a playmaker and wants to be a creative guy and extend plays. Like we're just gonna see that throughout the year.
Yeah, it's hard to just outright like, say like, oh, that's the wrong move, because what if he escapes and makes a big play? Then
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Then we're all praising him for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one thing though, I will say that I loved about when he scrambled yesterday, he kept his eyes downfield at all times. He was looking for, something to come open, and a lot of times it just didn't happen. But I do think he's done very well at like when he moves around in the pocket and when he's scrambling, even when he's in trouble, he's looking downfield. So I love that. It's not like a point guard that's just like dribbling everywhere, like
right.
He's trying to make a play. I just think that he'll learn like when to the more he plays, he'll learn when to do that and when to not do that. But Kaylin and I were talking about it before too. It was like, what I worry about is, all right, 10 really, really bad things almost happened on that one play. Like he almost fumbled. He got drilled. His leg kind of, curled under him. Like we can't afford to lose JJ McCarthy right now. Right. And so that's where I'm like, hey, I love that you want to make a play there, but like we need you in the ball game. So scramble one way, see if somebody can get to the sideline or throw the ball away, and let's live to play another down here. You don't have to, have a Hail Mary, Johnny Manziel on every play.
Yeah, I would love to see his ability to like scramble, but like maybe be a little bit smarter about it in terms of like it's okay to pick up 9 yards and run out of bounds, right? It's okay to get the first down and
doesn't have to be a touchdown, right?
Yeah, you don't have to do a spin move and hit stick somebody every play.
Yeah.
Unless one thing about that is if he does make a play like that where he's like running around and like zigzagging around, can bet your ass we're gonna put that play like we're gonna get a graphic of it, put it on a shirt, and like sell the shit out of it.
Probably. Yeah, I mean the one too that kills me is his fumble. Like he's in the middle of 100 people. Like again, only bad things can happen there. Just go down. Just slide, do whatever. I know it was like a weird play where it's not like he had like open room to just slide, but I don't know. To me, those extra 3 yards do not matter, but having both of your ACLs intact matters a lot, and us having the football matters a lot. So I think that there's just learning curves, and that's where we do miss Cade in that sense, because Cade will never have a negative play ever, right? He won't make the unbelievable play, but he's not gonna like scramble and make turn something into a negative play.
I mean, he also seemed like every drive that he came in, he got sacked, and that's technically a negative play. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't think those were. I think those were more on the offensive line. It wasn't like he was sitting back there for 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, it is rare to see like a Cade play where he would feel the pressure and like just take off running. which I always thought he should do more of, to be honest.
Even if it's
he
like
is-
right up the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Can we talk about Don Thomas for a second? Don,
Do we have
I
to?
love you, man. I respect it. Like, I don't respect it, actually. I'm like, my words are just like tied up into a knot because I'm so frustrated with the tweet you put out yesterday. I mean, what was that? His like just opportunity to take a shot at like JJ not being a
What was he
perfect
saying?
quarterback.
I totally missed it.
You didn't see it?
No.
Look, he tweeted something. Let me see if I can pull it up on here.
Is it the I tried to tell you all about JJ?
Yeah, I'm like,
I tried to tell you all about JJ, not because I was hating on him, but because I was telling you the truth. He has all the talent in the world, but he needs time and development, and he's getting a crash course right now. Have patience with him.
I love how he ends it with "have patience with him."
I don't think he's. I don't think. See, here's the thing. I said this in our group chat. I don't think he's wrong, but it's what he's said for the past year to try and like kind of bash on him that makes it. It's the way he says it,
Right.
you know. Yeah, we do need to have patience for JJ, I think. And there's going to be times where you're like, man, he is still very young. But to me, I agree with you. Like, it's a I told you so type of
Right.
tweet. And like, yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. You need to drop it. It's not a good look for you.
Well, it's.
Not
I
great.
mean, it would be a.
It's half his age, and he's like fucking. I don't know.
It would be
Bothered me to the
welcomed.
core.
It would be welcomed if it was. If he was like throwing out a bunch of positive JJ tweets and that was
Right.
like one negative one, then it would be welcomed.
Yeah,
But
but no, he's trying to do the literally I told you so. Like, he literally said it.
it was the one tweet I saw. I mean, I'm sure he had a couple more. I wasn't like looking at his page all the time, but that's where I think it frustrates me, where it's like people that will just like not praise a kid, but then shit on him the first opportunity.
Right.
That's where it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Try to get that off my
Kind of got
chest.
his narrative a little bit, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pass rush. We worried?
Honestly, I don't remember much from the pass rush. So
That's the issue. I think.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see. I mean, it's hard to say because last year we watched two greats, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't see pressure on Tagovailoa like I would say 90% of the game.
And he's also a crafty quarterback. Like, he moves around a little bit. He's mobile. I mean,
I think that when we did get to him, he definitely like moved around and got out of it because he's good at that. But there were just times I thought it was like essentially when Chris Jenkins and Mozzie Smith were out of the game, there was zero pressure on the quarterback. And so that's where I was like, all right, well, this is not great because we can't on the defensive line, like you don't just you rotate guys, right? You can't have two guys play an entire drive. So I just don't think we have that much depth there. And that's really like nothing against Mason Graham, but that's why you're seeing a freshman get a lot of play there is because we don't have a bunch a ton of depth. So to be honest, we could probably really use Chris Hinton right now.
for sure.
It should have been, it's a shoulda, coulda, woulda situation for him. But I think that we definitely could have used him. And I don't know, man. I think that there were times yesterday where like you needed to get to the quarterback or at least put some pressure on him, and then that changes how the drive goes. Or if he doesn't slip out of a tackle by Iabioki, and like instead they get a first down out of it, right? And I don't know. That just worries me. I think that would be a concern I would have going forward.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I thought late in the game, like Mozzie Smith started to like become a more impactful player, right? Because like later in the game, you started to see him get some penetration, get some sacks, especially key plays, right? But then like some of the guys on the edge, the more I was watching, and again, I'm just watching on TV.
Yeah,
I didn't see like swim moves or spins or anything like that. It was just kind of like they only had one move from what I could see.
Yeah, I felt the same way. There were a lot of times where it felt like guys would just stand up and stalemate and just like kind of they're not trying to get a push, not trying to get past the guy. And I get that. I've seen that happen a lot. Like throughout a game, you get tired and like quote unquote. I'm not gonna say people are taking the play off, but I think people will like you just kind of like you can't go balls to the wall every single play for 10 plays in a row. But to be honest, that's what we got out of Aiden Hutchinson. He was psychotic and would just like pin his ears back every single play, and that's what made him great. And so I've yet to see that really from anybody on this defensive line where they're just like, I am going to go as hard as I can here and dominate you and utilize speed. I think that's what we're missing, where like Aiden was so strong, but also had unreal speed to get past guys. I just don't think we haven't seen that yet from this team.
Yeah, I want to see more of that Yabi Oki guy. I just thought
he got to the quarterback when he was in.
He didn't play a lot, but when he was in, you were like, oh, he's making a play. So I'm kind of like, shouldn't you have him in more often then at that point? Like,
yeah, that's what Patty and Kat were saying when I was watching the game with him. And I was like, well, I mean, he's only been on the team for 5 weeks. That's probably why.
Yeah, but like we need playmakers, man. Get whoever's making plays, get them in there. I don't care when they got here and all that stuff. It's a cutthroat game, I don't know. I think that I think that Jalen Harrell too. I like him a lot, but I just don't think that he's quite too. He's not quite the big giant edge guy, right? He's a bit smaller. I don't know.
Almost built kind of like a linebacker, like between a linebacker and a D end.
I agree.
Now, do you think they were trying to like play more containment on Tulia and like not,
I can see that for sure. It was like, we don't need to get him, 5 sacks this game. We just don't want him leaking out and running for 100 yards.
That's what my positive vibes only take. That's why there wasn't a bunch of sacks. They're playing contained. That's what I'm gonna ride.
All part of the plan. Yeah.
Yep. All part of the plan. Thank you, Kalen, for the assist there.
Assist. He said the whole thing. You just stole it.
Yeah.
That is not an assist. You had nothing to do. That was like saying like Kalen dribbled all the way up the court.
I stole it from him and then I scored.
And you were on the sideline cheering, and you're just like, "Thanks for the assist, Kalen."
I took a half-court shot. Jack turned it into alley-oop.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go.
My man.
Let's talk about MSU. Talk.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch a damn thing from that game.
Oh my god, it was hilarious.
But they didn't score until the fourth quarter, right?
It was like the last drive.
At home,
just dominated, absolutely dominated. And I do think, let's give it to PJ Fleck. I think Minnesota is very good, but
yeah, I think they're really good. I don't know how they were. They were unranked in that game, right?
I think so.
Are they unranked?
Minnesota. Still? I mean, they'll surely be ranked now, but
oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, they still got Tanner Morgan and Ibrahim.
But they had a bunch of guys like PFF super highly rated.
Yeah,
to back the narrative of Minnesota being good.
I think Minnesota's good, but I mean, not 34-0 on the road.
No,
MSU good.
No, MSU is really bad.
Yeah, listen. I don't want to talk too much shit already because
we know what can happen.
Listen, we've been here before, but like we need to win that game by fucking 40 points.
I would love to see it.
At home, I needed an absolute stomping and no mercy and just continue to score forever and ever and ever.
I just need to see a victory. Would love to see it by at least 2 touchdowns would be great, but victory, I'd be super pleased.
Hey, also, again, not talking shit, but Brady Hoke threw 30 whatever games.
Saw that.
19 and 15, then Mel Tucker threw the same 15 and 19. I'm just spitting facts.
I see the facts. I'm
narrative. I'm just telling you the facts. You guys take it how you want.
Yeah. Not coming, man.
Also very good at clapping while down 3 scores. So,
Got to keep the team morale high, man.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a positive vibes only type of guy.
Yeah, he is. You guys would probably get along.
Great friends.
Also, what else was I going to say? He has admitted, Mel Tucker, that he's a horseshit football coach. So
that's true.
They only had 38 rushing yards.
I didn't watch much of it either because we went to the bar and got food and stuff after, and how? I don't know. I mean, I will say this was my concern going into the year for MSU. If I was an MSU fan, is that Jalen Berger is not your pound it running back, and he's built like a wide receiver. So, but I don't think he has the moves like Kenneth Walker did.
I did love seeing all the tweets yesterday that Tuck owes half of his signing bonus or
Kenneth Walker.
Pay to Kenneth Walker, yeah.
Literally. I've said it before too. Listen, once you get paid $10 million a year, you cannot afford to do this.
No.
D'Antonio, flew under the radar a lot in those down years because he was still not paid that well. But as soon as you get that big paycheck,
then the eyes are on you.
Everyone's talking about it. I think it was U of M versus everyone tweeted that he made $750,000 yesterday for that game.
I guarantee I could have done a better job.
You couldn't have done worse.
Couldn't have done worse.
Oh man. Yeah.
Some more
I enjoy
around
that.
the league kind of stuff. I mean, I just anticipate especially MSU people going oh, well, you had a close game to Maryland, blah, 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 right? But just looking around the league, Georgia, 39, Kent State, 22. That's not blowing them away.
Wow.
Penn State was tied or losing at halftime to Central after dominating Auburn last week. So I'm very confused about Penn State. I will say, fuck Ohio State. They looked absolutely dominant against Wisconsin at home.
Yeah, those black unis are sweet.
The black unis are cool. But yeah, they looked very, very good. Wisconsin was supposed to be one of the top teams in the West. I mean, I think the West just sucks balls, but
other than Minnesota, maybe.
Yeah.
Once they have a true test, we'll know about Minnesota.
Yeah.
Pretty much cupcakes so far.
Josh Gaddis at Miami too.
Ooh, let's talk about Gaddis.
What's the Miami offense looking like this year? Points per game. What do we got?
They're three. All right, I have to go pee. I'm gonna be back in 2 seconds.
All right, good luck.
Miami offense. Oh man, yards
over under 10 points a game.
6. Oh man. I mean, they lost to Middle Tennessee.
That's tough.
Now, I don't know what happened because they have 2 quarterbacks on here. So I don't know if somebody got hurt and it really took the wind out. But
what do we got? Points per game.
Let me see. Miami football. $34. But I think they went nuts their first game.
Yeah.
Who did they play? Their first game they played, oh my gosh, Bethune-Cookman. Some random school.
Yeah.
70-13.
That'll help your points per game.
Yep. Then they played Southern Mississippi, won 30-7. And then they lost to Texas A&M 17-9, and then they lost yesterday 45-31.
Okay.
Wait, who did they play yesterday?
Middle Tennessee State.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I thought that they were playing a conference game. Yeah, I saw some tweets from Miami fans that are like, "Oh yeah, you were the keys to the Michigan offense for sure. You were also the keys to the Bama offense before that too." Like blah blah blah. Like there are two people on potential fraud alert right now, and it's Mel Tucker and Josh Gaddis.
Yeah,
That's true. So we shall see. We shall see.
What else we got?
Notre Dame beat North Carolina. That was actually
Notre Dame won.
Yeah, that was a big win for them after struggling early. Because North Carolina was undefeated, I believe.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that was a big win. Let's see. Did you see the ending to the Florida
Oklahoma?
Oh yes.
Wait, what was that? Who did Oklahoma lose to?
Kansas State. Adrian Martinez.
Best thing he could ever have done was transfer out of Nebraska.
Yeah. Think about how. Okay, let's talk about Scott Frost for a second now, because Adrian Martinez is balling out in the Big 12, and how did he not win games with him?
We gotta be that bad of a coach.
They also lost. Nebraska lost to Northwestern, who also lost yesterday, and it looks like probably one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. I just don't understand.
It's just tough.
Yeah, sorry to Big Game Boomer for his Sooners. It's tough. It's tough. You know, he tweeted that he was locked in. His team wasn't.
No.
He felt the need to talk about Michigan student section again. So
help make himself feel a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
Deflecting a little bit.
I hope he did feel better. But in reality, I hope he felt terrible.
Yeah.
Clemson Wake Forest was an unbelievable game.
Fun game.
We were watching that after double overtime,
OT, right?
Yeah. Wake Forest is the real deal, I think. They're very good.
Demon Deacons, baby. Got Sam Hartman.
Also, think about Kenneth Walker at Wake Forest last year. Like, they would have been legit.
Probably, yeah.
I know they were legit anyway, but they would have been like serious, like top 10. Let's see. How about Kent State putting up 22 on Georgia? That's like the most points anybody scored outside of Alabama on Georgia in the last 2 years.
Yeah. When did they score? Was it all like garbage time?
No. They scored
like throughout the game.
Yeah. It was like third quarter.
Like at halftime, it was what, 26-13?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it was a game. I'm assuming that Georgia maybe they didn't play everyone or something. I have no idea, but
maybe
that's literally the best game that anyone has played against Georgia outside of Alabama in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Dude, Statavius Bennett, whatever you want to call him now.
Staquavius.
Yeah, there you go.
My homie. Fucking loves Stetson Bennett.
270 yards, 0 TDs, 1 interception.
Is he falling off?
Maybe.
Is Stetson now the worst QB in the country? Maybe.
Not an overreaction.
Never. I would never.
Texas Tech. Texas is not back. Not back officially.
Poor Texas, man.
I do feel bad for Texas fans because you're just like,
I want them to be back so bad, but
you're hoping for everything. Every year it's something. This year it's Quinn Ewers. He goes down. Was he back yesterday? Or did they play their backup?
It was a
Hurt
backup.
or Hurt, whatever his name is, right? Card.
Hudson.
Yeah. Card. To go from playing with Bama for 4 quarters to then losing to your rival the next week is
tough.
Real tough. Also, Cincinnati beat the shit out of Indiana. Indiana is bad. Cincy's still good though.
Good for Cincy. I can root for Cincy.
Yeah. USC squeaked it out versus Oregon State, 17-14.
Fighting Lincoln Riley's.
Bama Vanderbilt, barn burner, 55-3.
Yeah, Jesus.
How is Vanderbilt in the SEC? Listen, I know they're very good at baseball.
Crazy, man. They're
It
sometimes
is-
okay at basketball, but football, they just can't compete.
I mean, it's a great school, like right outside of Nashville. It's very cool, but yeah, I mean, they got to figure something else out.
Yeah.
Also, Purdue, who was supposed to be like a contender in the West with Aiden O'Connell, 28-26 over FAU. They have struggled this year already.
And didn't they lose last week to
They lost to Danny Villari.
right?
Syracuse, yeah. Yeah, I don't think Aiden O'Connell's been playing. I don't know if he's injured or what.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they played Austin Burton at QB instead.
Interesting.
Wonder if he has any relation to Tim Burton.
Ted
Burton?
Did you say Tim?
Yeah. Is it Tim Burton or Ted Burton?
It definitely is Ted Burton. He's a good friend of ours and a baseball player, but I'll let him know.
No. I meant Tim Burton. I did mean Tim Burton. You know who that is, right? Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, like the movie guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Big movie guy.
Yeah.
But now we
I
have
am a
two
big
Burtons he
movie
might
guy.
be related to. Maybe Tim and Ted are related.
Shout out to Ted Burton and Jimmy Overtop, just like again.
And Brandon Lawrence.
And Brandon Lawrence. Yeah, I mean, they come stop by the tailgate every day. I love them. They're the best. Shout out to Tristan Bounds rocking the Joe Knows shirt. Joey V. That was fire. Good dude. Really good dude. A lot of good dudes in Michigan athletics. Just good people. Good people all around. Also, hey, shout out Michigan volleyball. Swept number 9 Penn State yesterday.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like,
don't they have a Mays out against Ohio State this week?
I believe on Wednesday. Mays out. So that's a big deal.
Should we
I'm excited.
play back that one?
Ooh, we could definitely do that.
What time is it? 7 o'clock, I think.
7 o'clock.
That could
Probably.
work.
We definitely should do that.
Yeah, I'm down.
The last thing I'll say here is Iowa beat Rutgers 27-10. That's got to be the most points that they've scored.
Does Iowa have an offense now?
No. It literally is the most points that they've scored this season is 27. They won 7-3, then lost 10-7, won 27-0, and won 27-10. So, I'm curious to see what goes on. What goes on next week with Michigan, Iowa? I
forget that's next week.
Yeah. It's a noon game, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll be very interested to see how JJ and this offense do, because they're not going to be able to run the ball like they did probably. So
we'll find out.
Yeah.
What's the passing record for Michigan? Like in a season, yards?
I don't know. You think I just have that like off the top of my head?
I don't know. Like 3,000? Something like that?
I would think, yeah.
Just trying to think where JJ's at now and if he's got a chance to
Chad Henne.
What's the number?
It had his career yards up there. I want to see in a season. Single game, single season.
Chad Henne has pretty much every passing record at Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, single season. It's John Navarre.
My man.
3,331.
Okay.
Number 2, Shea Patterson.
Interesting.
Then
Wonder if JJ can get there.
Number 10 is Tom Brady.
What's he at? How many yards does he have so far?
JJ?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that he's played a half.
Right. He's like only had one true full game. He's got 693 so far. So he's a little bit behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, I mean, He's putting up good numbers still. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
he didn't have a flawless game, but his numbers are still good.
Mhm.
Like I said, he's just not going to he's not going to complete 80% of his passes, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine. So, all right. Well, we'll have another podcast here coming up this week, and we'll break down the Iowa matchup. Very excited for that. You can follow us at Blue by 90 on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Blue by 90 Podcast on YouTube, and blueby90.com. We appreciate you. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.